Harry, this is Geordie Prepper and welcome to today's Wednesday Weekly World News. It's the 29th of November, so let's crack on. North Korea is speeding up a new program with aim to obliterate heinous gangsters in US. Obviously, this North Korea thing just isn't going to go away. They are speeding up the missile testing, the capabilities of the missile, and they've just launched a upgraded version of a previous type of missile, and they now say that they're able to hit the entire US land base. So obviously things ramping up. You got to remember that they can speed up or they can play down these events for as long as they want until obviously it's time to actually have an event happen, which then advances of their plan. So things, they will go cold for a while, they will heat up for a while, there will be missile tests, etc. Building up of forces, forces build up and then they wane, and we've got to keep an eye on this. We've got to look at it from the bigger perspective, the bigger picture here. Articles are often put out to cause a little bit of fear mongering, so just be more aware that when you're reading things, what are they actually trying to do by releasing any sort of article or statement? What are they trying to get in regards to a public opinion on the event that they're covering? So in response to any North Korean threat on the island, Hawaii is looking to reinstate Cold War era warning sirens. Like I said, these problems which is occurring with North Korea, it means an increase in spending across lots of sectors, not just military. But you got to think, if they're saying that they're going to put lots of funding into something, such as this public address system, warning system, which is from the Cold War era, so it obviously needs updating. That's spending, that's money, that's loaning. And ultimately, this problem with North Korea can be an affront to spend more, which means more loans, which ultimately come from the central banks. So it is a big cash cow for them, any sort of threat or perceived threat. But here we have an island here, Hawaii, which is part of the United States, is saying that they're going to invest in this Cold War era warning system. And we have an article here saying that ISIL is threatening Christmas attacks on New York City. So whether these cowardly clowns actually carry out any sort of attack themselves, being the cowards that they are, who knows. But again, if you're in any area that is allegedly, threatened by ISIL, then just take sensible precautions. If you're a prepper and you're in the area, just have a get out plan, a bug out plan, have a bug in plan. Make sure that you don't rely on one or the other, that you're able to bug out when you need to, and bug in when you need to, and just make sure that you don't bug in when you should have bugged out, and you don't bug out when you should have stayed put. Just have a contingency and have a plan for as many different possibilities as what you can, and just take sensible precautions, because whether this is just to put some fear mongering in the public, or whether it is an actual credible threat, these paid mercenaries, whether they actually deliver on the threat is something that we just have to wait and see. So I reported on British household debt being a problem, and now obviously it's the same in any central bank country, but we're starting to see indications now that the American household debt is surging. There's just lots more people getting credit cards as lenders continue to ratchet up their portfolios. Fed data shows an increase in credit cards and auto loans moving into delinquency. So it's the exact same bubble that we saw in 2008. At some point it's going to pop, and that was what got us into the situation in 2008. Some other factors as well, obviously, but the credit card and loan bubble was you know, well overdue anyways, but at the time that it did pop in 2008, 2007, 2008. So we're seeing the exact same thing, easy for me to say. We're seeing the exact same thing again. So, you know, just don't play their game. Don't get into debt if you can. But obviously, you know, it is hard to not be in debt when you're in a debt-based system. But, you know, like I said, just don't play the game because it's the best way to win it. Well, we're seeing a lot of things in the news recently about automation, robots, you know, replacing people in warehouses. And, you know, I mean, we've got a worker here, he's worked 10 hours, no break. You know, when he has gone for a toilet break or whatever, it's been timed. You know, this is putting a lot of pressure on the staff. This could be a manufactured thing. It seems that the typical 9 to 5 just doesn't exist in warehouses like this, and it's extra pressure. There's usually no place for workers to sit down, so they're standing a lot of the time. And, you know, there's a girl here who suffered a panic attack when she was told compulsory overtime would mean her working up to 55 hours a week over Christmas. So really high expectations of the staff and very little support. And, you know, you don't need to give that to a robot. So this could be a way of slipping in through the back door. More automation, more robotics in warehouses.